Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our country, and how we're going to fix both of them together, because it's a hell of a thing to pass along, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, we're going to talk today about how the left is losing their collective minds, more so than usual. The right is lining up, and it's all because of Matt Gaetz, the Rhino, the establishment, and the left, all in a happy little family, coming out against Matt Gaetz, saying what is going to happen, what isn't going to happen, and telling us how they're going to stop everything from happening. Oh, you guys are going to love this one. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to spread freedom from border to border and coast to coast. And thank you in advance for that consideration. Now, guys, a lot of you out there like to upgrade and modify your own guns, and our sponsor today, Sonoran Desert Institute, they do just that. They open the door for you to turn that hobby into a career. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. They ship everything directly to you. You can do gunsmithing, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, ballistics, drones, for crying out loud. There's something for everybody. There's a link in the description box below. Just check it out so you know your options, because you really can change your life with just a simple tweak, just like you do to your favorite firearms. And with all that said, let's jump into this, guys, because they're losing their minds. We've got all the usual suspects. You're going to love every second of it. Check this out. First one up, Representative Jerry Nadler, the high-waisted fiend himself. Last I checked, a federal investigation into your wildly suspect behavior does not make you qualified to run the Department of Justice. My statement on Representative Matt Gaetz' nomination as the U.S. Attorney General. And of course, if you want to read it, he throws a bunch of mud and he's going to stand as the big bastion in the big meaty Trump administration. It's all that kind of stuff. It's all linked if you want to read it though. But let's continue on. So the high-waisted fiend has come out against him. I can't imagine why the left, like high-waisted fiend Jerry Nadler, and then people who are on the right, who are never Trumpers, like John Bolton, like this guy, would come out against. Let's explore. Maybe he has some jewels of wisdom in here that we can really ascertain what's going on. I think it's important that we truly get really the verbiage here. Let's get into it.
Oh, I thought it was the worst cabinet level appointment in history until they then heard about the Matt Gaetz appointment. Really, my reaction was that this is like the legend of Caligula, the Roman emperor, who wanted to nominate his horse as a Roman consul. You had to be a Roman senator at the time to be a consul, and it was intended to show how demeaned and degraded the Roman Senate had become. So now we're going to see whether the American Senate can stand up and reject two people who are totally unqualified, unfit professionally, and really lacking in the moral characteristics, the character that you need to hold these jobs. I think this vote should be 100-0 against both of them.
Now he's talking about, I don't need to hear the rest of this. What he's talking about is Pete Hegseth from Fox News going to as the secretary, and then also Matt Gaetz as the attorney general. Guys, you have to understand what he just said. This sounds like Caligula and how he nominated his horse for consul. Kind of missing the point there, Bolton. The point is the system is so corrupt. It does need to be flushed out. And the fact that you're kind of picking up the parallels to the very example you pulled up is telling. The fact is the system is broken. But he also hit something else that was really important. It's going to be 101 against in his confirmation. Oh, now we're predicting what's going to happen before the administration is even sworn in. Okay, well, let's keep going. Maybe there's more to that. We'll come back to Benny in a second. Hey, look, Adam Schiff. First, the Supreme Court granted the president immunity for weaponizing the Justice Department. Now, Donald Trump wants to appoint Matt Gaetz as AG. Confirming him would mean affirming the worst potential abuses of the DOJ. He must be rejected by the Senate. Hey, weird, from the guy in the back, you know, me right here. You remember like 4 years when we were egregiously persecuted by the DOJ and the ATF and all the weaponized departments of the bureaucracies? Remember that underneath the executive branch? Isn't it weird how the very people who were doing it are now all of a sudden saying that's going to happen? I just want to leave that on the table really quickly. But let's keep going. Oh, no, actually, sorry, Benny Johnson. This is an important one. This is actually pretty awesome. This is what John Fetterman said, and this is only what John Fetterman can do. Watch this.
I mean, I would describe it as God-tier level trolling to just trigger a full-on China syndrome to own the libs in perpetuity.
God tier level trolling and a triggering event to own the libs in perpetuity. This is a Democratic senator. I don't have much commentary to add to that. But anyway, let's keep going. So this is the part right here where it gets really fascinating. And then we'll get to the some more rhinos here. Donald Trump's nomination of Rep. Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General is telling. In June, Gaetz ripped Attorney General Merrick Garland over the justice system's coordinated effort to go after Donald Trump. Now, this is the interesting part about Matt Gaetz. He's a bulldog. That's what he does. He stood up for Second Amendment rights. We've covered it. He stood up for abuses of the First Amendment. He stood up with abuses of power. He's done a lot of things. In fact, if we just do a little taste of this little clip, I'm pretty sure we covered this, but let's keep going.
You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis' office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. I get that.
State.
The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
You make a request. We'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about. Now,
Okay, you guys get the principle. He doesn't take any crap. That's why they are freaking their, out on the streets. They're losing their minds. I'm walking you through the entire process, just a few of the clips. But it's going against the narrative. That's the existing Attorney General, Merrick Garland, completely dodging the question. Can you just give us your emails? Well, they're independent. That's not what we asked. That's why they're going against him so hard, because he doesn't let go. But now let's look at some Republicans and some rhinos, because this is truly fascinating watching everyone align against these people. This is the swamp in action, by the way. Just letting you know, you're seeing it.
I just think it's silly. I believe that the president is probably rewarding him for being such a loyal soldier to the president. But the president is smart enough and his team is smart enough to know that Mr. Gaetz will never get confirmed by the Senate. Mr. Gaetz breaks things to break things, and then once he breaks it even more. And that is somebody who should not be the Attorney General of the United States. I can tell you, I'm not the only one out of 222 that we'll end up with that is happy that he is leaving this conference.
Okay.
Everyone knows that he will not be confirmed. I'm not the only one who's going to be happy that he's leaving this conference. He breaks things to break things. That's a Republican. Maybe there's something else to it. Let's go to the next one here. Guys, you'll figure out where I'm going here in a second. Look, it's capital of the Rhino people, the Rhino Brigade.
You know, we've had names like Rubio, Waltz, Gaetz even. I mean, what do you make of the choices so far?
I think choices are very good except one. Look, Gaetz won't get confirmed. Everybody knows that. But when you look at a Rubio, just the knowledge that he has, being in the Intel Committee, I was on the Gang of Eight, and his understanding, even when you listen to the other side of the aisle, they say, he'll make a great Secretary of State. So that's strong for me. A Waltz, just his background, from a Green Beret and others being the... But John Radcliffe at CIA, former DNI, that's very strong. And the difference is to what was 8 years ago today, President Trump understands the job. He knows the people that he needs around him to get there. And I think he's going to be much better prepared because he only has one term, but he'll hit the ground running this time.
You say Gaetz will not be confirmed. Why bother with the nomination then?
All right, so that's the interesting part that we're going to spend a second on. So that's the second Republican who's kind of more in the swampy side of the Republican Party that says Matt Gaetz will not get confirmed, and everyone knows that. Well, Matt Gaetz just resigned his post. He just turned in his resignation from the House, and he's been tapped for the AG. The left is freaking out. God-level tier trolling, all these different things that I just showed you, and you've got Republicans saying, no, everyone knows he's not going to get confirmed. Then why? It's interesting. Why would that happen? We're going to break that down a whole lot more in other videos, but I do find it really, truly fascinating that the left is losing their minds, the right says it'll never happen, and everyone else is great except Matt Gaetz. Huh. That is weird. Wonders abound. Let me know what you guys think. Are we on to something? Are we just chasing up a tree with no squirrel in the top? Let me know. I'll see you on the next one.